We made it to Barcelona Sants, which is the high-speed rail train station here in the city. But we've learned not to get here too early because number one, you can't get through security. Number two, there's no seating available. And number three, you have no idea where your train is going to be assigned on their track. So make sure that you plan ahead not to get here too early. It is not like TSA pre-check. We were sitting inside of a cafe where we had to purchase a drink. That way we're not loitering. So plan ahead to not get here early like we did. They said about 30 minutes is like the going time to arrive.
Remember in my last video I mentioned the importance of carrying around a few extra euro coins? Well, it definitely came in handy at this particular train station. It cost exactly €1 coin to use this restroom, and it was hands down the greatest restroom experience of my life. It was so bright and clean. The station's departure board is constantly updating, and there are very limited announcements that are provided, so make sure you stay on top of the updates, especially closer to the time your train arrives. We just got in line for the train. It leaves in about 50 minutes, but the line has already started to form. But because we are in, I think, Premier, we already have an assigned seat, so it's not going to be like hustle and bustle trying to run to find a seat like we do on Amtrak. We know that we're seat 26 and 27A, so we got this. Yes. Once you pass through security, there's no official waiting area as you line up for your train prior to heading down to the platform. You'll notice that you see a lot of people waiting for the same train, leaning against the wall, sitting on their suitcases, or even just standing. Once cleared for boarding, we head down the escalator to our assigned platform, and for this trip, we're taking OUIGO. For essentially 2 business class tickets, we spent about $16 per person, which I think is a steal. Typically by car, the journey from Barcelona to Madrid takes about 5.5 hours, but by high-speed rail, we can arrive in less than 3. We booked tickets to sit in the Sky Car about 2 months prior to our trip, and since we purchased OUIGO Plus tickets, we were able to select our own seats and bring our luggage on board at no additional cost. It's well worth the few extra euros we spent. I should have checked downstairs just so I could compare OUIGO Plus tickets to their Essential Basic ticket. That way you could see the differences between the two, but I actually forgot to do that. The boarding process was very easy and we found our seats very quickly. There was limited overhead space for our luggage, so we ended up utilizing the luggage racks near the exit. I felt okay using this because we could still see the luggage from our seat. There are only 2 stops on this trip, so there weren't a lot of people moving around and getting on and off the train. Since we were able to select our seats in advance, we were able to sit directly across from one another in single seats without having passengers sit beside us or across from us. We even got a full table in between us with a lamp on the table. I believe with a basic ticket, you just get a tray table on the back of the chair in front of you. Our seats were very spacious and super comfy. You could even lean against each side of your seat for a headrest. There's even a recline button on the side of your chair that gave a nice slow recline for an extra level of comfort. There's even a charging port for your phones and your computers. As you first depart the station, you kind of go at a regular train pace and you really see the surrounding sight. But once you're out of the city, it's like the scenery blows by in lightning speed. Now let's talk about food. There is a snack car on board with hot and cold snack options, but you're also free to bring your own snacks on board. But for less than a 3-hour trip, we figured we could just buy something easy off the train. The snack car opened about 20 minutes after our departure. We purchased a ham and cheese sandwich, a vegan hummus spread, potato chips, and a Coke. The total for this purchase was around 15 euros. We used the digital menu by our seat, that way we already knew what we wanted to order before we went to the cafe car. Now all that's left to do is just sit, eat our snacks, and enjoy the 3-hour journey down to Madrid. One thing I might mention is that your ears just might pop on this train similar to how they would on an airplane, especially when you travel through a tunnel.
Tenéis cuidado al salir con el espacio entre coche y andén. Esperamos que hayáis disfrutado del viaje y deseamos veros de nuevo a bordo. Muchas gracias. Propera estación Madrid.
Okay, don't freak out if you don't understand what the conductor just said, because everything is translated into English after the original Spanish message. That was just our official notification that we have finally arrived in Madrid. It took a while to deboard the train, and it was a tad bit crowded. I actually don't remember this many passengers when we were boarding in Barcelona, and mind you, there was only one other stop in between Barcelona and Madrid. Hola from Madrid. We have finally made it to Madrid 2.5 hours later on the high-speed train from Barcelona. We are currently walking to the bus so we can get to our hotel, and we don't have any plans. So this is the part of the trip where we completely wing it. Where'd Sean go? There he is. We're completely winging it. We've got no plans. So let's see what we can get into. This has been another Candid Cami Travels video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. More travels are on the way.